Aloha and good morning. My name is Jocelyn Costa. And
And I'm Clare Pana, and we're so pleased to be here this morning. I'm gonna go like this because we're gonna share a mic today. And this day really partially started because Jocelyn had a brainchild where she said, we got to make an event with a Kue petition and bring Noi Noi Silva here. And so this, after a year and a half of trying to do that, is the day that we have actually accomplished that. And so we feel like this is a big ho'ailona today as we welcome Noi Noi Silva, the person who brought the petitions back to Hawaii, to Maui, to speak on behalf of the Kue petition.
and none of this could have happened without Claire's understanding and Claire's connections. So we can wish for a lot of things, but for it to actually happen, we need each other. And with that, all things are possible. And so never shortchange yourself and think that we cannot, because we can. And the thought of the petition was a long time coming, but I think it became more and more evident in 2014 when the Department of Interior came to visit us. As we were listening to the testimonies, a lot of the people were speaking on behalf of their kupuna on the Kue petition. They did not come there representing themselves. A lot of them came representing their kupuna from the petition. And at that point, Claire and I realized in separate times and spaces that we were thinking the same thing. And when we ended up one evening in the Queen's Hospital, amongst the portraits of our kupuna, we started discussing this possibility of the petition being brought back to the Lahui to continue its signatures, not to create a new petition, not to resurrect, but just continue. It has never stopped. The voices of our kupuna have always been resonating within our hearts and our minds and our soul and our prayers. And so it was a matter of just bringing forth the paper. And there we started. So if anybody doesn't know Claire, she is energy plus. So when the thought came out, she goes, okay, let's go do it. And I didn't realize what we was going to end up doing. And we have not stopped since. And I'm blessed. I'm totally blessed. I'm blessed with a good friend that's Claire. I'm blessed with the people that we've encountered. I'm blessed with the ho'ailona that has come to us, the doors that have opened, the events that have given us that opportunity, and the kupuna that's now entering this room. Yeah. So we're totally blessed when it comes to the Kue petition.
I just want to say that today I hope that you and we are all part of making history, because towards the end of last year I started getting on Jocelyn's case because I said, look, we're not doing anything. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? And Jocelyn said, oh, I'm busy. Yeah, I get plenty. But Jocelyn, she's so talented. Everybody wants a piece of Jocelyn to come and help them with their activities or to get their land, to get their neighborhood, and so it's been a struggle because I said, Jocelyn, we got to do the petition, but it was quiet last year, and so I just really went into prayer about it, and what they told me was, you'll know when it's time to, again, the people will come to you, and you'll know because Noi Noi Silva will come to you, because we had been tried for a year and a half then to get Noi Noi Silva, to make contact with her, and we were never able to do that. Despite all the people we knew that knew her, she never answered any of our emails or phone calls. And so this time, she came up to the table, and and she was asking a lot of questions, and I was helping her, and I looked at her and I said, "Do you know what the petition is about?" And she looked at me and she said, "Of course I do. I'm Noe Silva." So here we've been waiting all this time, and she's standing in front of me. But I will tell you that since she came to our table that night, things have really picked up, and the interest of our people in getting to know their kupuna from the petition has gone many-fold. It's just increased a lot. And so what you're seeing is another culmination of another step, another ho'ailona, when we actually get to speak with Noi Noi. So congratulations for being here and being part of this.
We had an opportunity back in 2014 and 15 to speak to the Office of Hawaiian Affairs and present the possibility of the Ku'e petition. And there was a little bit of soundbite that came to me, and I just want to read to you. It was, "To achieve unity of a people, we must first find the common thread that binds us." And somewhere in history, I didn't realize these words were already written. We needed to find that common thread that binds us. And what better than our own family? What better than coming under a unified cause? So we started. When we started, my naive brain said, we can breathe life into the kupuna and they can come and help us. How wrong was I? Because when we would put the books down and the mo'opunas would come and find their kupuna, the first thing they did was inhale. I found them. And then I realized it was the kupuna that was giving us breath and waking us up, and now bringing us to a higher consciousness of kuleana. And when they did that, they were grabbing for their cell phones to call their aunties and uncles and their tutus to figure out now who was tutu's name and who was the wahine and where and it started a resurgence of understanding and identity, like Bula was saying. It brought us to the need to know who we were again, so that we would know who we are. And by surprise, Claire's sister, and I'm going to have her explain that, without her assistance, would have made it not impossible, but a little bit longer and sometimes difficult to locate the names. But another ho'ailona has happened.
Well, today we wanted to really speak about the petition so that you would know, as we know, that this petition is really alive. And we're just going down a list of different ho'ailona that you might find interesting, as we definitely do, to know that our kupuna are reaching forward to us and tapping us on the shoulder and saying, please wake up. Please wake up. This is the time. Yeah, hey. And so let me tell you this story about my sister. My sister is a staunch Democratic Party member, and she's been part of the planning, the committee that actually makes the membership. And so she loves databases. She doesn't know anything about Hawaiian history. But one day she gave me a ride to a meeting with Lynette Cruz. And at that meeting, we needed to have someone make a database of the names from Maui. And she said, I can do that. So she did. And then, as she started, she was making the names for all of the kupuna. And I said, oh, did Auntie Lynette say to do that? And so I called Lynette, and Lynette says, oh, no, she doesn't have to do that. And so I called my sister back, and she says, I have to. The kupuna want it. For 3 weeks. My sister, she sleeps like 9-10 hours a day. So she said the kupuna woke her up every night for 3 weeks. She slept a couple hours, and they said, okay, you slept enough, get up and work. Until she got the database set on how she was going to decipher the handwriting and put it into a database. And then she was able to sleep. And then, after that, we had the torch march, and she worked really hard to get the names ready so we could take the database, alphabetical database, around the island with us. And she would work for 16 hours straight on the computer and not know that she missed eating breakfast. So just in another world. And for me, this was a great Hawaii Lona, that we would be successful and that the kupuna really, really want us to come and find them. So go ahead. You can share another one of the many Hawaii Lona.
So the database is an alphabetical order index of the names that are in the ku'e petition. What they had found was sometimes their kupuna was in a different place. So we're familiar of now. So we say, no, our family is from Maui. We were born here. My generational ancestors were from here. But in 1897, they may have been somewhere else when the petition came and they signed there. And so it was funny because I was sitting in a meeting and there was some staff people from OHA, and she goes, "Can I see the database?" And she opened it up and she went, "Oh my God, they did sign." She could never find her kupuna. And she goes, "That makes sense that they were in Lahaina instead of in Hana at that time." Never thought to think that her kupuna had huaka'i on the other side of the island at the time, because you figured it only took them a little less than 2 months to gather over 20,000 names. So it was, mad rush. Everybody was coming down, and they were unified. They knew exactly why they were doing it, how they were going to do it, and when it was going to get done. So it was heartfelt for her, being in an office such as the Office of Hawaiian Affairs and being brought to their kupuna from people other than that office. And it was a good thing. It was a really good thing. I think there are many, many more stories that we can share with you as well.
Well, let me share a story about some of the coincidences. You might not know any of these coincidences that happened while we're taking the petition to sign. One of the first ones was when we were in Waihehu, and we were in a situation like this, outdoors under a tent, and talking about the petition, and two men were sitting there. And these men had been friends they grew up together. And then my sister made a computer program that day, and she gave each of them their computer programs. They said, "Oh, I found my tutu. Oh, I found my tutu. It's on page this." And then the other one said, "Oh, mine is on that page too." And they looked at the page and they said, they went signed together. Our tutus went signed together. So we got on a petition page, and the two men, they signed together. And then we were in Kahiki Nui, and this young man he wasn't sure he should sign. He had some questions about it, and he's watching, and then he said, "I'm going to sign." And then he says, "Son, you come here and sign with me." And so we've had many instances of sons and fathers, mothers and daughters, who've also had mothers and daughters sign the petition together. And sometimes I was just in California at Alondra Park, and we had families coming. We had like 2, 3 generations, some of them 4 generations come to sign, and they all signed together as a family. It was simply amazing to see how the thread of Ohana still runs so deeply within the Lahui. And this young lady here posed the question about, well, I'm not from the kingdom, but I would like to sign because I support this. And so we looked into it and researched it, and indeed, many people from other places signed. You know, they would write down their country they came from, and as a signer. And then I've had so many people come up and say, I can't find my kupuna. And then as we go through to look who was alive in 1897, they find that their Caucasian ohana is the one that's in the book, or the Portuguese ohana is in the book. And then they find all the aunties and uncles in the Portuguese one, because there are lists of Susas. And there are so many names that we would not think about. You know, you think I have to be Hawaiian, but no, anybody can sign to support something that is right. Anybody can sign to say that it is not right to come and take someone's country against their will. Thank you.
So everyone kind of knows the history of Hawaii. In 1893, when the insurgents came and put our queen in bondage, and then when James Blunt came and he did his investigation and found that what had happened was illegal and that the kingdom needed to be restored. Well, the insurgents refused. So they asked to annex the territory of Hawaii, which was their Lahui. They never said that they were going to annex the kingdom of Hawaii. They were going to annex the people of Hawaii. They were going to annex the territory of Hawaii, and that's important. So when they created the Organic Act then defines, which is why the petition is important, defines the people, not just the thing, which was a territory, but the people of that territory. And so in the congressional debate, there's a couple of men, especially Mr. McCollum and they're senators, Senator McCollum and Senator Bacon. And so Senator Bacon continues to ask the question, if you're talking about a certain people, were all of the inhabitants citizens of the territory of Hawaii? McCollum had to answer him, and he said, no, sir. They are a class of citizens existing under that republic who declined to take the oath of allegiance. So who do you think they're talking about? Our kupuna. They were never citizens of that republic. We're looking at 1900 when the Organic Act was created. So they had to go into Congress now to create this document so that they could turn us into a territory and thus become the state of Hawaii. So remember, they are capturing the Republic of Hawaii to become the territory of Hawaii, to become the state of Hawaii. But who are they and what are they? Never the kingdom of Hawaii. Never the people of Hawaii. So Senator Bacon, again, replies, the senator will see the pertinency of that inquiry when that part of the section which he's talking about citizenship for this Organic Act, the section is taken in connection with the amendment to which the conferees have agreed, because if they were not citizens of of Hawaii in August 12 of 1898, which is for the Republic, they are not now under this bill made either citizens of the United States or citizens of the territory of Hawaii. This is congressional record. So our kupuna, acknowledged within Congress, cannot be taken that way as citizens. So Senator Spooner says, and they could not become citizens of the United States except by naturalization. And I do not know that they could by naturalization under the existing laws. Now we fast forward. Now they're saying the only way they can attach themselves to us and us to them is if we became naturalized. Because the kingdom still exists. We are a separate country. We're a separate nation. The only way they can claim us is if we now want to jump ship. Yeah? So we fast forward again to um, the year 2014, and a document came up because they were wanting to create, and I don't know if everybody knows, the Naiaupuni, where they're going to create the government for our people. And they create this, what they call a consortium. So the consortium becomes a delegation that will speak to and decide for the people of Hawaii, and they define it. The people they also speak about is the naturalized citizens of the Kingdom of Hawaii. So again, they refer back to 1900. They can't, till today, they have no consent. They cannot touch us. They cannot claim us because we are who we were. And if we track ourselves to the Ku'e petition, all you have to do is follow the documents. This kupuna did not become naturalized. Did their children become naturalized? No. Maybe yes. And so on and so forth. So I did my genealogy back to the Ku'e petition, and I asked my father. Her father signed the petition, my grandmother's father. So I said, okay, so we know he's not. Did she? He goes, I can tell you for a fact, no. She said the test was too hard. So now when it became my father's turn, he said, well, I always thought I was an American, so I never got naturalized. He cannot become something he's not. And there, I also thought, follow suit, I am who I thought I was. Identity crisis. I am not an American, which is not a bad thing. It's just a fact. I cannot change what facts are there. If my kupuna signed that petition and his offsprings did not become naturalized, my father did not become naturalized, I did not become naturalized, my children did not become naturalized, we cannot claim something that we are not. And this is the beauty in the petition. We go back to our kupuna and then we track them back to us. And it's not people look at it as though it's a historical document that is so far out there. But it's not. It's my dad's grandpa. It's the tutu man. That's all it is one tutu man away from you. It's my dad's grandfather. It's my grandma's father. If you want to say it that way, is my grandma's father. Is that way out there historically? No, it's right here. They're right here. So I encourage anyone who has the opportunity to look into the petition, do your genealogy, and you can track right back to yourself. It's not far away. It's not historical. It is current. It is a current document that we can also attach to. So.
And I just want to say, some people have said to us, there's no sense signing it. And I have to say for myself, I want to sign it. I want to put my name there and say, I protest the taking of Hawaii, the Hawaiian Kingdom. And as we work, and when people find their kupuna, I can't ever say to someone when they find their kupuna and the tears start falling, and then they bring their kids back to see it, and they all hug in a big group hug, that this is not alive, that this is not something that we need to do, because we do need to find our way back to who we were and how clear we were about how important it is to be part of the Kingdom of Hawaii. So I'd let you wrap us up.
I don't have my glasses, but I think we can wrap it up by reading the petition itself. Can we have a volunteer to read the petition? Anyone wants to read the petition?
We need somebody who's got good eyes.
Go ahead. Thank you, Auntie.
Oh, yes.
It's small print. It's small print.
Ay, ay, ay.
I don't have my glasses.
Okay.
It's English.
Oh boy.
You can just say
William McKinley.
yeah. You can say Obama.
And the Senate of the United States of America, greetings. Whereas there has been submitted to the Senate of the United States of America and treaty for the annexation of the Hawaiian Islands to the said United States of America for consideration at its regular session in December AD 1897 therefore, with the undersigned native Hawaiian citizens and residents of the district of island of the Hawaiian who are members of the Hawaiian Patriotic League of the Hawaiian Islands and others who are in sympathy with the said leagues, earnestly protest against the annexation of the said Hawaiian Islands to the said United States of America in any form or shape. James Kaulia. Pau, mahalo.
So in the petition, they were very simple. It was not adverse. It was filled with truth, and it was filled with aloha, because they didn't just prejudice against 50%ers. You know, there was no blood quantum, and there was no ethnicity divide. It was for all supporters in any shape or form. How more perfect a language than that? So at any time, the provisional government, state of Hawaii, United States, wants to again present us in any shape or form, whether it comes from the Department of Interior, whether it comes from the president himself, whether it comes from the military forces, we protest and we hold firm to our lahui and our kingdom, because it's the truth.